Did you know that a member of the Trump family is invested in the Amazon of guns? Until recently, buying a gun meant going to a brick-and-mortar licensed gun shop, perusing your options, talking to a salesperson, undergoing a background check, and then taking your new purchase home. Don Jr. is changing that, capitalizing on his dad's rollback of gun safety and making the process of buying a gun easier than ever, especially for young people. But it starts with Omid Malik, a banker, businessman, and the co-founder and president of the conservative venture capital firm 1789 Capital. He's Don Jr.'s buddy and co-investor. Just days after the 2024 election, Donald Trump Jr. became a partner at Malik's firm. 1789 Capital prides itself on funding the next chapter of American exceptionalism. It's unapologetically conservative and anti-woke. In January 2025, Malik and Trump Jr. announced that they would invest in GrabAGun, an online firearm retailer, and take it public. Then, on March 26, 2025, just 2 months after his father's inauguration, Trump Jr. was named as a prospective board member for GrabAGun, alongside the company's executive team and a handful of prominent gun industry figures. On July 16, 2025, the company went public after merging with a company funded by Malik and affiliated with 1789 Capital. This isn't some small venture. Trump Jr. and Malik rang the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange to celebrate GrabAGun being publicly traded under the stock ticker PEW. Internet meme speak for the sound of gunfire. Together, they are helping build what Malik has called a parallel economy, or the patriot economy, for members of the political right, fanning the flames of extremism and feeding into culture wars that continue to divide us, all in pursuit of profit. GrabAGun is just one piece of the larger so-called patriot economy puzzle, but it's by far the most dangerous. GrabAGun's mission is to make it easier to buy guns, plain and simple, and their target audience, young people. In a presentation to investors discovered by The Smoking Gun, the company claimed that millennials and Gen Z are shaping the future of firearms retail. At a time when firearms are the leading cause of death for children, teens, and young adults, GrabAGun sees opportunity and dollar signs. But GrabAGun isn't alone in that. Targeting young people is and has been the gun industry's MO. Sometimes these companies even incorporate kids into their marketing.
A 2017 report from the NSSF, the gun industry's trade group, described youth as obvious low-hanging fruit in recruitment, and young adults as a large, relatively untapped market. Whether it's in print ads or social media posts, gun companies have made a point to include underage children in their marketing materials for years. Trying to appeal to young Americans isn't new or revolutionary, but these are guns, and kids aren't even allowed to buy them.
In just one place, you can build a custom assault rifle with their AR-15 builder. Set up a subscription to have pallets of ammunition delivered to your door every month with their Shoot and Subscribe program. And if you don't have any money, that's okay. You can avoid upfront payment on your new weapon with the Shoot Now, Pay Later financing that requires $0 down. But why does any of this matter? While Donald Trump Jr. sits at the helm of GrabAGun as a director and part owner of the company, his dad sits in the Oval Office, rolling back long-standing gun regulations and slashing industry oversight.
Since taking office, President Trump has legalized forced reset triggers, devices that allow AR-15s to fire like fully automatic machine guns. He's weakened the National Firearms Act by removing a tax on especially deadly weapons like short-barreled rifles and shotguns, silencers, and guns disguised as pens and umbrellas. He's gutted the ATF, the federal agency tasked with enforcing our nation's gun laws, and ended the agency's zero-tolerance policy for gun dealers who willfully violated the law. And he's even released a plan to rearm dangerous individuals like domestic abusers and violent criminals. These are all rollbacks that GrabAGun is perfectly situated to make money off of.
Every day in the US, 125 people are shot and killed, and more than 200 are shot and wounded. Which is also good for GrabAGun's bottom line, because fear sells. At a time when the public and private sector should be prioritizing an end to America's gun violence crisis, Donald Trump Jr. has leaned into a business model that prioritizes scale, speed, and accessibility. GrabAGun is pushing guns at a whole new scale, and with the most dangerous weapons on the market. Their company states that people should be able to use their computers, phones, and tablets to shop for firearms the same way they purchase everything else. And they've partnered with the country's largest gun makers to streamline sales as much as possible.
By repackaging gun sales as just another convenience-driven e-commerce experience, complete with AI personalization and youth-oriented marketing, GrabAGun is not just normalizing, but accelerating access to deadly weapons. But these aren't just any online item for sale. They're lethal firearms. And the Trump-Vance administration thinks that more of them, in more places, in more hands, is a winning idea.